Good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the 2024 Infrastructure Summit. Unfortunately, I can't join you today as government business has arisen. However, I am confident that today's conference and its theme of building the nation, creating a low-carbon, future-ready Ireland to support our growing population will be a great success. As Minister with responsibility for delivery of the National Development Plan, I want to acknowledge the collaboration between the public and private sectors in terms of delivering the essential housing, the infrastructure and the climate mitigation measures which our country requires. Today, I want to outline to you 3 areas in which the government is taking action to improve that collaboration. Increasing investment in capital delivery, reforming regulations, and also supporting the future of the construction sector. Over the lifetime of the National Development Plan out to 2030, we will be investing €165 billion in new and upgraded infrastructure that will meet the needs of our growing population. This year alone, over €13 billion will be invested from the Exchequer on vital infrastructure projects. The overall level of capital funding is now at an all-time high. This year, the government has taken major steps in accelerating the delivery of critical infrastructure projects. Last month, I agreed revised capital allocations totalling an additional €2.25 billion out to 2026. This is to support important projects in the National Development Plan like DART+, Bus Connect, schools and important hospital projects. For the longer term, the economic benefits of steady investment in infrastructure are universally acknowledged. That is why my colleague, Minister McGrath, and I introduced the Future Ireland Fund and the Infrastructure, Climate and Nature Fund. With a fair wind, the Future Ireland Fund could grow to €100 billion by 2035, while investing in measures to shape our society and to benefit our growing population. In addition, €2 billion will be invested in the Infrastructure, Climate and Nature Fund each year from 2024 to 2030, building a total maximum contribution to the fund of €14 billion. Any investment return will be kept within the fund. These prudent and sustainable measures should ensure a steady stream of investment into our future, into housing, and importantly, measures to help deal with the consequences of change in our climate. As chair of the Project Ireland 2040 Delivery Board, my primary focus is on addressing bottlenecks to NDP delivery. In January of this year, I chaired a meeting where a range of issues such as the backlog and planning applications and the restructuring of An Bord Pleanála to uncommissioned Pleanála were discussed. I am determined that the backlogs in An Bord Pleanála are addressed, and they are too. That is why my department sanctioned the recruitment of more than 300 staff for the board. At the end of March, there are now 252 staff, and the numbers will rise to more than 300 by the middle of the year. As many of you know, the government wants to provide greater certainty in terms of timeliness of decision-making by An Bord Pleanála, and as a result, 18 weeks is the proposed new timeline for normal planning appeal and 48 weeks for strategic infrastructure development. The government is also prioritising the Planning and Development Bill through the Oireachtas this year. The legislation introduces significant reforms in the judicial review process, including the establishment of urban development zones, which will empower local authorities to strategically advance development projects. For the delivery of public projects, my department has introduced a new infrastructure guideline, and these will aim to reduce the number of approval stages and streamline the requirements for major projects while ensuring robust oversight arrangements. I regularly meet with representatives of the construction industry. The message is consistent. If we enhance processes within government, In areas such as procurement and planning, we can accelerate the delivery of critical housing, of infrastructure and of climate change related projects. Working with the Office of Government Procurement, there has been huge progress in this regard. In the case of limited liability caps, for example, and I know that these have been welcomed by industry. Other measures are under consideration, and I understand that the OGP will soon launch a consultation on consultant engagement in public sector contracts. Our ultimate aim is to have the optimum procurement system and culture so that as a government we deliver our strategies while developing a resilient and thriving construction sector. As we look to the future of the sector, you'll all be aware of Building Information Modelling, or BIM, and the potential it possesses to transform the design, the management of construction projects. BIM can speed up the construction process, can reduce costs, reduce wastes, and deliver projects to a higher quality. Recognising the transformative capacity of this technology, I earlier this year incorporated BIM requirements into the Capital Works Management Framework, or the CWMF. Initially, this applies to design teams on projects with a capital value of over €100 million. Over the next 4 years, these requirements will be extended to cover all public works projects to ensure widespread adoption across the industry. As part of my broader reforms to the CWMF, we're also adopting the International Cost Management Standard, which will enable decisions to be taken on the basis of the total cost of ownership, including the environmental impacts of decisions and energy use. The introduction of BIM and ICMS will undoubtedly play a key role in our objective of securing a low carbon future. So today's summit enables discussions and knowledge sharing across the construction sector, which in turn contributes to our collective goals. Addressing these needs are exceptionally challenging for all parties involved, and that is why the Construction Sector Group, chaired by my Department Secretary General David Maloney, and the Innovation and Digital Adoption Subgroup, chaired by PJ Rudden, will continue to be a critical engine of change in the industry. I look forward to working with you all in the coming weeks as we reshape our country's economic and social project by delivering Project Ireland 2040 in a sustainable and climate-friendly manner, thus enabling a lower carbon future. Thank you.